Hello, welcome to the Tim Booker channel. Wishing everyone a pleasant listening experience. Today's book for interpretation is Abundance. Is it possible for humanity to achieve abundance, and what are the forces that can help achieve it? We all know that resources on Earth are limited, such as energy and land resources, which are non-renewable. Once used up, they are gone, and many countries and regions face the challenge of resource scarcity, hindering their development. For centuries, many scholars have proposed the idea of restraining the rate of population growth on Earth. Otherwise, with an increasing population and dwindling resources, society will face significant problems. Some have even suggested that human social production will stop growing as late as the year 2010. Though these predictions of growth limits have hardly become a reality, the population on Earth has indeed increased significantly, and many resources are indeed being used up at an alarming rate. How can we address the resource and population issues? Is there really a limit to growth? Can the goal of global abundance for all humanity be achieved? These are the questions Abundance seeks to answer. Before delving into the main content, let's first get to know the authors. This book has two authors, Peter H. Diamandis and Stephen Kotler. Kotler is a columnist for publications like the New York Times and The Atlantic. The other author, Diamandis, is a leading figure in the field of commercial space exploration. He has founded more than a dozen commercial space exploration companies and has sent several customers to the International Space Station. He also established the X Prize Foundation to encourage private space exploration. Diamandis and Kotler together founded Singularity University, aiming to gather the world's brightest minds to solve the world's most significant challenges. Abundance explores a grand question concerning all of humanity. With the introduction of the authors done, let's move on to the main topics, which are divided into two parts. First, we will discuss what abundance is and why it is inevitable for all of humanity to achieve it. Then, in the second part, we will explore the four forces that contribute to achieving abundance: high technology, innovators, tech philanthropists, and the rising 11. Part 1. What is abundance? Abundance does not mean that every person on Earth should live a luxurious life, owning mansions and private jets. It means that every person on Earth should have access to basic necessities. Currently, every minute, 7 people in the world die due to lack of food, 3 die from consuming contaminated water, 3 from air pollution, and 2 from malaria. Abundance means that every individual living in this world should have the freedom to pursue their dreams, rather than constantly struggling for survival and worrying about their basic needs. Defining abundance might seem vague, but the concept is represented by the abundance pyramid model. The pyramid consists of 3 layers. The bottom layer represents the most basic physiological needs: sufficient water, food, and shelter. The middle layer includes energy, education, and communication technology. In the short term, this combination can improve people's living standards, and in the long term, it is crucial for fostering business trade, collaboration, and achieving abundance. The top layer of the pyramid consists of health and freedom. Ensuring effective healthcare and maintaining good health are important indicators of achieving abundance. Alongside health, freedom is also indispensable. With freedom, society can flourish and sustain continuous development. At this point, there will surely be disagreements and doubts about this judgment. Some may think that a 25-year time frame is too optimistic, and some may believe that the future trend will be the rich getting richer while the poor get poorer, making universal abundance impossible. These perspectives stem from inherent cognitive biases. Cognitive biases refer to the incorrect judgments we make based on surface phenomena and false information. Many of these cognitive biases have been preserved through evolution and were crucial for the survival of primitive humans. However, these cognitive patterns, known as cognitive biases, are no longer suitable for the modern society. For example, our brains have a part called the amygdala, which serves as an alarm system. The amygdala is responsible for primitive emotions like anger, hatred, and fear, and it remains in a highly vigilant state. Any information that might threaten our survival will stimulate the amygdala, prompting us to respond with fight or flight. This means we are naturally more sensitive to bad news. Messages about natural disasters, energy depletion, or apocalyptic scenarios spread rapidly on the internet because people are inherently more sensitive to negative news. However, the reality may not be as dire as we perceive. For instance, in the 1970s, people believed acid rain was the most terrible environmental pollution, but after several decades, the predicted acid rain disaster did not occur, and it is rarely mentioned nowadays. Throughout human development, progress has been made in many aspects, including efficiency. Efficiency significantly influences people's quality of life, as everyone has the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. How people utilize these 24 hours determines their quality of life. Let's consider a data point for comparison. In the United States, if your income is at the middle level and you want to have an hour of light in the evening, it would take you less than half a second of work to earn the money for that hour of light. However, if you go back to the 1880s, when kerosene lamps were used, you would have to work for 15 hours to get an hour of light. And if you go back to 1750 BC, when sesame oil was used for illumination, you would have to work over 50 hours for 1 hour of light. The cost of lighting today compared to 1750 BC is 350,000 times less. From this perspective, human efficiency has significantly increased over time. Human progress is not limited to improving time efficiency. There have been advancements in various other areas, such as overall prosperity and increased life expectancy. According to the data provided in the book, China is now 10 times more prosperous than it was 50 years ago, with an average life expectancy extended by 28 years. According to the United Nations statistics, the reduction in poverty over the past 50 years is greater than that of the previous 500 years. Many people worry that the wealth gap between rich and poor will widen in the future, but the author believes that this may not be the case. He cites the view of the renowned economist Hayek in The Constitution of Liberty: once the middle and lower classes start rising in society, the main route to acquiring substantial profits will no longer be catering to a few wealthy individuals. As a result, the wealth gap will gradually shrink. In conclusion, things are not as bleak as some might think. Over the past few hundred years, humanity has made continuous progress towards the goal of abundance. People live longer, become wealthier, healthier, and lead safer lives. Furthermore, the progress of human civilization is cumulative, with each generation standing on the shoulders of giants. In the journey towards abundance, we are not progressing at a uniform pace, rather, we are running faster and faster. Part 2: How to Achieve Abundance. There are 4 forces that can change the future of humanity and achieve abundance. These 4 forces are high technology, innovators, techno-philanthropists, and the rising billion. Let's discuss each one of them. Let's start with high technology. The impact of high technology on our lives is evident to most people. Take, for example, the popular trend of bike sharing. The concept itself is not entirely new, so why did it not take off a few years ago? The answer lies in the immaturity of the relevant technology at that time. Therefore, the importance of technology in truly influencing people's lives is undeniable. Technology is also a crucial driving force in achieving abundance. The prediction that global abundance can be achieved within the next 25 years is based on the belief that technological growth is exponential, and technological advancements will accelerate further. You may have heard of Moore's Law, which states that the number of transistors on an integrated circuit doubles approximately every 18 to 24 months while the cost remains the same. This means that every 1.5 to 2 years, you can buy a computer with twice the processing speed at the same price. Though Moore's Law is not a strict scientific law, it has not yet been invalidated, indicating that technology has been growing exponentially. To put this into perspective, let's look at a specific example. In 1982, the top portable computer, the Osborne, weighed 13 kilograms. By 2007, Apple released the first-generation iPhone, which weighed 135 grams, only 1% of the weight of the Osborne. However, the iPhone's processing speed was 150 times faster, and its memory was 100,000 times larger than that of the Osborne. Comparing these parameters, we can grasp the rapid development of technology. Another example of technology's exponential growth is the concept of the singularity, which refers to the point when machine intelligence surpasses human intelligence, and humans merge with machines. This theory was proposed by Kurzweil in his book, The Singularity is Near. According to the book, the current processing speed of an ordinary computer is 100 billion operations per second, while the human brain's processing speed is 100 trillion operations per second, 100,000 times faster than a computer. Based on Moore's law's predictions, in 15 years, an average computer will reach the processing level of the human brain, and in 23 years, an average computer's processing capacity will match the sum of all human brains' computational power. Kurzweil also predicted that by 2045, human lifestyle would undergo a complete transformation. Computers will surpass human intelligence, and immortality will become a reality. The biological significance of humans will become a thing of the past, and human bodies will undergo various enhancements. On that day, abundance will naturally be achieved. This may sound like a far-fetched dream, but in reality, breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, medicine, nanotechnology, and other fields are happening every day. All of this points to the singularity coming closer and closer to reality. Let's move on to gene technology. This technology is not entirely new. The Human Genome Project was initiated in the United States in 1990 with the aim of discovering all human genes. However, the project's difficulty was immense, and many believed it would take at least 50 years and cost $10 billion, with some even doubting whether it could be accomplished at all. For various reasons, the Human Genome Project had made little substantial progress. In 2000, a person named Venter started his own Human Genome Project, and within a year and with less than $100 million, he completed the sequencing of the entire human genome. 10 years later, in 2010, Venter's company created the first prototype of synthetic life, a significant breakthrough in gene technology. Venter is now researching a new type of algae that can produce petroleum and any other fuel. In a few years, the energy problem may no longer be an issue. Gene technology can not only solve energy problems but also accelerate vaccine development and increase food production. These technological breakthroughs bring us closer to abundance. After discussing the new advancements in gene technology, let's turn our attention to the Internet of Things. In recent years, most of us have heard about the concept of the Internet of Things, which aims to connect everything and give each item its IP address, making everything accessible through the Internet. It sounds good, but can it be realized? Let's do some calculations. Assuming the Internet of Things becomes widespread, with a global population of 9 billion people, and each person owns an average of 1,000 to 5,000 devices, we would need 45 trillion unique IP addresses. However, the currently used IP address technology, IPv4, can only provide around 4 billion IP addresses, which is far from sufficient. But there is no need to worry. We now have a new technology called IPv6, which can provide a vastly greater number of IP addresses compared to IPv4, making the Internet of Things possible. The implementation of the Internet of Things can revolutionize all industries. It will influence how we produce, allocate, and recycle resources, significantly improving resource utilization efficiency and taking a big step toward abundance. Now, let's focus on artificial intelligence. The current state of artificial intelligence is still in its early stages and resembles artificial stupidity more than true intelligence. When will artificial intelligence be as intelligent as Baymax from Big Hero 6? It is challenging to pinpoint an exact time frame. However, we can explore some cutting-edge technologies. In recent years, IBM has released two types of chips, one that is not limited by heat, greatly enhancing computer performance, and another that can mimic the human brain, responding differently to various situations and learning from experience. The maturity of artificial intelligence technology will change every aspect of our lives. Perhaps, in the not-too-distant future, heavy workloads will be almost entirely replaced by artificial intelligence. At that time, people will no longer work for mere survival but will be free to pursue their dreams, reaching the third level of the abundance pyramid. The above discussion covered the first force influencing humanity's future, technology. It is crucial to note that rapid technological development will change people's lives and help achieve universal abundance. Now, let's move on to the second force in achieving abundance, innovators. In the world, there is a group of people with a strong passion for innovation. These individuals are the DIY innovators. DIY stands for do-it-yourself, which means creating products by oneself. The author believes that DIY innovators are an essential force in achieving global abundance. Without them, there would be no Silicon Valleys, garage culture, or entrepreneurial waves, nor would there be numerous world-changing ideas and products. The reality proves that many things that big corporations deemed impossible were solved by innovators with perfect solutions. Let's look at a case study. In 1969, the U.S. government spent $300 million to develop the X-15 rocket-powered aircraft, which could fly to an altitude of 100 kilometers, becoming the first aircraft in human history to enter space. It sounds impressive, but there was a man named Rutan who, with just a team of 30 engineers and $26 million, developed the manned spaceplane, Spaceship One, which outperformed the X-15 in every test. The success of Spaceship One changed people's perceptions. Previously, people believed that only national space agencies and professional astronauts could travel to space. Rutan's success disrupted the fundamental paradigm of the aerospace industry and raised the flag for private exploration in aerospace. For example, Elon Musk's company SpaceX achieved rocket reusability in 2016, a breakthrough that significantly reduced the cost of rocket launches. Musk also envisions connecting cities with vacuum tubes and transporting people in capsule trains for high-speed transportation. These innovators' ideas will genuinely impact the future of humanity, bringing us closer to global abundance. Let's take another example of an innovator. A few years ago, drones were considered high-end gadgets. The cheapest military-grade drone on the market was called Big Raven, retailing at $35,000. Chris Anderson, the editor-in-chief of Wired magazine, was interested in drones and founded an online DIY drone community. The community's first major project was to create a drone with 90% of the functionality of the Big Raven at a reduced cost. In less than a year, the DIY community produced a drone with 90% of the Big Raven's functionality, at a cost of only $300, which was 1% of the military price. Afterward, the DIY drone community developed over 100 different models of drones, almost all at zero development cost. This example illustrates that many seemingly unattainable cutting-edge technologies can become accessible consumer products through continuous iterations and upgrades, at a rapid pace. We discussed aerospace planes and drones earlier, but what about solving social issues? Do innovators have solutions for that? In the book, the author introduces a type of innovator who possesses both practical and effective entrepreneurial qualities and aims to drive social change. The author calls this type of innovator social entrepreneurs. For example, there is a website called Kiva that allows anyone to directly lend money to small businesses in developing countries through peer-to-peer microloans. By 2009, Kiva had 180,000 members, mostly entrepreneurs. Each week, these members collectively lent around $1 million. As of February 2011, Kiva lent money every 17 seconds, with a total lending amount exceeding $977 million. Kiva's credit was excellent, with a repayment rate of over 98%. This shows that it is not just a charity project, it can help developing countries and serve as a safe investment opportunity. These are the three forces influencing humanity's future: high technology, innovators, and social entrepreneurs. However, even with advanced technological products, they won't be effective without a massive market. Now let's talk about the fourth force in achieving abundance, the rising billion. These billion people refer to the world's poorest living in social strata, with daily expenses of less than $2. In the past, many believed that the poor lacked consumer power and were not worth offering specialized services to, thinking that donating money was enough to help them. But the author suggests shifting this mindset, not treating the poor as burdens or charity recipients but as consumers, redesigning business models for them. This approach can not only help the poor but also open up a huge market. Take the example of Grameenphone, a telecommunications company in Bangladesh founded in 1997, which had 30 million users by 2011. Therefore, as long as appropriate services are provided for developing countries, profits can be made. Additionally, Grameenphone invested $1.6 billion in Bangladesh to build telecommunications networks and other infrastructure, significantly assisting local residents in breaking free from poverty. Economists from the London School of Economics and Political Science found that in developing countries, every 10 mobile phones added per 100 people increased GDP by 0.6 percentage points. Providing commercial services to developing countries not only yields profits but also helps local people lift themselves out of poverty, achieving a win-win situation. Another example is Unilever's marketing campaign in India, aimed at selling more soap. The campaign increased sales by 20%, but the crucial point was that it also helped poor people in India. In India, 660,000 people die each year from diarrheal diseases, which can be easily prevented with regular handwashing. Unilever's promotion resulted in more poor people in India buying soap, reducing diarrheal diseases. Improved health also increased their income, creating a positive cycle. Providing services for the bottom of the pyramid market benefits not only the poor but also manufacturers. For example, Honda initially produced a very inexpensive electric bicycle, primarily targeting poor residents of Japan. However, in the 1960s, this affordable electric bike entered the US market and attracted a large number of American customers. Honda's competitive advantage established in the poor market allowed them to surpass American motorcycle manufacturers. In conclusion, the rising billion, along with high technology, innovators, and social entrepreneurs, will contribute to achieving universal abundance for all of humanity. With that said, the main content of this book has been covered. In conclusion, the concept of universal abundance presented in this book is not about enabling everyone on earth to live a luxurious life, but rather ensuring that each person has basic necessities and is free from the struggle of making ends meet. The author introduces the concept of the universal abundance pyramid, consisting of 3 tiers. The foundational layer addresses basic physiological needs, the middle layer involves energy, education, and communication technology, and the top layer focuses on health and freedom. The author believes that around 2037, humanity will achieve comprehensive universal abundance. Many people may doubt this idea due to the inherent pessimism of human nature. However, history has shown that humanity has been progressing towards a better direction for centuries, and the pace of improvement is increasing. Lastly, we discussed 4 forces that will help humanity achieve universal abundance: high technology, innovators, tech philanthropists, and the rising billion at the bottom of the pyramid. Achieving universal abundance requires addressing not only technological aspects but also various political and cultural issues. The author of this book places great emphasis on high technology and is very optimistic about technology's potential to shape the future. While other factors may not have been mentioned, the portrayal of humanity's path to universal abundance in the book is worth everyone's effort and pursuit. Pursuing this vision will serve as the driving force for human prosperity. Alright, today we've covered this book. Congratulations, you've completed another book, and we appreciate your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, the audiobook channel, and give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. Wisdom is meant to be shared, and together, we can create a better future. Thank you and goodbye.